Ultimate has a huge roster of playable characters. With how balanced the game is compared to previous iterations, it becomes incredibly difficult to determine how good or bad some characters are. In my opinion, there are a good number of characters that are top tier, or people perceive to be top tier, that are a bit overrated. So I made a list of my top 5 quote-unquote top tier characters that I think are overrated. For this list, I am picking characters that are, or many people believe are top tier, that I feel often get rated higher than they should be on the tier list. With that being said, let's get right into it. Starting off the list at number 5 is Inkling. A lot of people, myself included, thought pretty highly of the character. I'd say for the longest time, a lot of people considered Inkling to be one of the top 5 best characters in the game. While they still are an amazing character, one I would say is still top tier, they just are not as overpowered as most people originally believed. Their initial dash is the best in the game because of how low their hitbox goes, making it possible for them to avoid attacks and punishing afterwards with a grab. This greatly benefits them since they have a really good combo throw and can confirm kills out of grab. Their roller is great for punishing opponents and can also confirm into any of their smash attacks at kill percent. While these are great tools that Inkling has, they can still have issues closing out stocks. Although they have a kill confirm out of their throw, it only works at a certain percent window, which is affected not only by rage, but also the amount of ink the opponent has on them. So even though an opponent might be in the window for that confirm, they can be taken out of it simply because Inkling got hit too much. The character and stage also affects this confirm. There are some characters that have such a small window for the combo to kill on them, it's not even worth trying, and certain stages have higher ceilings, which can make the combo impossible to kill on said character with proper DI. Roller is still a good kill confirm if you're able to connect it, but the problem is that because it's one of their few really good kill setups, it's hard to catch someone by surprise with it, and it's pretty punishable on shield. There is a way to combo into it, but you need to put your opponent in a tech chase situation, which can be difficult to do since they need to be at a high percent where smash attack can kill, but at a low enough percent to actually put them in a tech chase situation. Struggling to close stocks is very scary for Inkling because I'd say they're one of the easier characters to combo and hold advantage against. I feel like because they have those two issues, percent leads matter a lot less against them. Inkling is only at number 5 because I'd say a lot of people already believed Inkling to be overrated at this point. At number 4 we have Joker. Yes, I really think Joker is overrated. It's not that I think he's not an amazing character or anything like that, I do. It's just I think way too many people believe Joker is the best or even top 2 in the game. I would be more understanding pre-patch, but after the nerf he received to downward aerial guns in 7.0, I think he's considerably worse. In case you don't know what that nerf was, Joker's downward aerial guns used to have 2 hitboxes that went diagonally downward on both sides of him, on top of having one that went directly below him. Now he only has the hitbox that hits directly below him. This makes matchups where Joker heavily relied on that move a lot more difficult and nerfed his edge guarding. By far his biggest strength is Arsene. It's the thing that either makes or breaks a match for Joker, and I believe more people are getting better at dealing with it. Joker will normally get Arsene while he's in a bad spot since his meter builds faster from taking damage. This means a good majority of the time you can make Joker burn all of his time with Arsene, so long as you continue to hold the advantage you already have. Additionally, if you get Joker off stage during this time, his up B becomes considerably easier to 2-frame, which can lead to you taking his stock incredibly early. Obviously, it's easier said than done, and Joker is still one of the best characters in the game, but I just don't see him being the best. I know this has been said time and time again by multiple people, but MKLeo heavily carries the results of the character, and if you were to take him out of the picture, people would not think of Joker as highly as they do. Coming in at number 3 is Olimar. This is a character that I believe was top tier until he got nerfed in patch 3.1. Both his forward and up smash got more N-lag added, making them less safe on shield, which was a pretty huge nerf to Olimar since characters who could not punish those moves before can do so pretty consistently now. In addition to that, Olimar got a bigger hitbox, making him easier to hit. While Olimar can rack up damage incredibly fast from a distance, he doesn't fight very well up close and can lose stock super early, being one of the top 10 lightest characters in the game. It's more difficult for him to keep the opponent away from him now because of the nerfs he got. He's one of the slowest characters in the game, so he has to rely heavily on disjointed hitboxes to keep the opponent out. Once they get in, it can be very difficult for him to get away. It can also be very difficult for him to deal with characters who can outzone him because of his mobility issues. All that being said, I think Olimar went from being a top tier character to a high tier because of the nerfs he got in 3.1. I don't think it's horrible since being high tier still means he's solo viable, just not nearly as good as he was before. At number 2 we have Fox. I'm sure no one is surprised to see Fox on my list, given how much I say he's overrated. Fox, I believe, is severely overrated, and I think it comes from not only having a top 10 representative with the character, but also being one of the most popular characters played competitively. I'm pretty sure every region has at least one notable player who uses the character. Fox is one of the fastest characters in Ultimate, as well as one of the easier characters to pick up and can be played pretty aggressively. I think those traits appeal to a lot of people, which is why there's a lot of character representation with him. While it's great to have a lot of people playing a character, I don't think high character representation translates into being a good character, and I feel like a lot of people misunderstand that. He's a glass cannon that if played well can overwhelm the opponent and rack up damage lightning fast while having a quick reliable kill move. The problem with Fox comes from his glass cannon nature. He's the 5th lightest character in the game and has a very linear recovery. This means that he's one of the easier characters to edgeguard when put off stage and can die incredibly early because of his weight. He also relies heavily on whiff punishing or attacking first with his quick frame data. If he's put in a situation where he challenges another hitbox, there's a very good chance he'll lose since a lot of his hitboxes aren't very disjointed. Trading can also be pretty bad for him because of his weight compared to majority of the cast. Fox can also struggle to kill similarly to Inkling, except he doesn't have a kill throw, so if he's unable to land an up smash confirm out of Nair or punish the opponent with his up smash out of shield, the opponent can live to super high percents. Which is bad considering you're giving the opponent rage and Fox can lose stock super early because of his weight. I don't think Fox is bad, but I do not believe he's as good as people think he is. I think he's probably high tier, or at the very best, bottom of top tier. And finally, we have number 1. The character I believe to be the most overrated is Peach. This is a character that I see most of the top players put at top 3. Like MKLeo, I think a lot of people are rating this character the way they are because of Samsora. Something I see a lot of people mention when putting her so high on the tier list is how much damage the character can rack up in one combo. While I agree she does have a very high damage output, I don't think it's too much out of the norm of the other top tiers. She does have a fantastic and unique movement option with her float, but Peach is still very slow mobility wise. Peach has very good frame data, which makes her amazing up close, and combined with float, she has some of the best walling and edge guarding in the game. Her turnips are also an amazing projectile that can help her confirm into kills and get edge guards on top of having an RNG factor with it. They are an amazing move and have a lot of great uses, but there is counterplay to them, such as being able to catch them if thrown at you and used against Peach. Like I said before, Peach is very slow, and because of that, it makes fighting characters who have a lot of range or can zone her with projectiles really difficult to deal with. Float is her best mobility option, so if the opponent can put themselves in ranges where float is less threatening, it could be extremely hard for her to get in. Obviously, float is still amazing off stage, but I don't think it helps that much in matchups where the opponent is consistently keeping her out. I think Peach is an interesting character that does extremely well versus most of the top tiers. That, in my opinion, causes people to turn a blind eye to matchups she struggles in, such as Game & Watch, Shulk, Pac-Man, and some other zoners. In my opinion, if you're going to rate a character top 3 or higher, they should have less matchups they struggle with. But I feel as though Peach potentially has some of the most matchups she loses compared to the other top tiers. By no means am I saying Peach is a bad character. I still think she's top tier, but I just don't see her being as good as what other people are saying. That is it for my list. I just want to reiterate that this is my opinion. So if you don't agree with me, that is totally fine. In fact, I expect most people not to agree with me. Hopefully, I could give you a perspective of seeing things that make you think more about characters in general. Anyways, let me know whether you agree or disagree with me in the comments below, and what characters you believe are overrated. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.